5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, everybody. As promised, we've brought you the Dark Horse versus Team Icarus game. This should be a pretty good game.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for this one. This is, essentially the perennial favorite Team Icarus coming into the undefeated Dark Horse. Dark Horse has been top notch on their game so far, but they haven't run into Team Icarus yet. So,
Right, right.
uh, I'm, I'm obviously I think that Team Icarus is definitely still the heavy favorites in this one, but I've been impressed by Dark Horse, and I'm curious to see if what they can do against this team. So.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I do have the replay bugs, so the bans are not showing for me.
I got them. So uh, it looks like Dark Horse banned Pangolier, a respect ban, Wind Ranger also a respect ban, and then they banned Mars, also a respect ban. So
Wow.
a lot of the respect bans. Team Icarus on their side banned Ricky and Death Prophet, both Rue
Both
heroes
Rue
that he's
heroes,
played in this
yeah.
tournament so far.
Yep.
I think this is what Team Icarus does a lot. They like to ban Rue heroes out. Uh, just to give you some background knowledge, Holocene, Loveless, and Happy on Team Icarus are all immortal players. And there's not too many immortal players on the Utah scene, so they do have a fair amount of them just on Team Icarus. Um, Mop is a divine player, and then Bernie is a really solid ancient player. So, and we already know Dark Horse ranks. So Team Icarus heavily outranks Dark Horse, which is why I think that it's definitely going to be a good show. But it'll be cool if Dark Horse makes their name true and ends up beating Team Icarus. So.
Ooh, a Wraith King first pick. We've seen this before.
Yeah, this is Dark Horse strategy. They like to implement this. We'll see how Team Icarus counters this. I do want to point out that Dark Horse stayed with the respect bans, banning Holocene's Phoenix, and Team Icarus stayed with the Rue bans, banning Lycan and Ursa. However, he has not played either of those heroes in a long time. Not really playing Lycan or Ursa much, at least this most recent patch. So
His Ursa is feared for sure. So I just think they're playing it safe just in case. And Ursa did receive some buffs,
that's true.
though we haven't seen him play that much in this patch or by Rue at all this tournament. They may just be afraid of a trick strategy coming out or something.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And they also think that maybe Dark Horse is holding some of their, strategies for this game specifically. One thing about being the favorite all the time is that teams gun for you, right?
Absolutely.
Teams definitely come in playing hard. So they start out with a Lich. Do you like this against the Wraith King?
It's I guess I'm not sure if this really has much of an effect against Wraith King. I know it does slow down the push, especially against the skeletons. It can help to clear those out and to make sure they're not doing that much damage against the structures. So that might be why they picked it. But I don't think Dark Horse really cares that much about that pick.
Winter Wyvern as well. I think both of these heroes are very good against the Wraith King.
It's a lot of deep push for
Lich
sure.
Lich Frost Shield, putting that on any hero greatly reduces the amount of damage that Wraith King does. Because, like you said, it's not just Wraith King doing damage; it's the skeletons.
That's a good point.
Winter Wyvern can also completely negate the damage from Wraith King.
And also, being a strength hero,
skeletons can count or can hit whoever Winter Wyvern targets in her ultimate. So
because they're uncontrollable, do they work the same way? It's an interesting.
I mean, I know that. Maybe you're.
Lane creeps do
I don't
attack,
know.
right? So maybe
Well,
it
I
has
know
the
that
same
controlled
effect.
units do. I know that
Yeah.
controlled units do. I don't think lane creeps do actually.
So it may function like lane creeps.
It may function like lane creeps instead of controlled units.
We'll have to watch out for that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But definitely the Q from the Winter Wyvern against both these heroes, the Wraith King and the Undying, will do a lot of damage. So in lane, it's that's going to be a good one. Now, do you think the Winter Wyvern will be played as the 4 position?
I think the 5 actually coming out from this.
Okay.
I think that the 5, that's where I would play it. I think it's a good 5 against this. However, I would like it against both the Undying and Wraith King. It's really good against both of those heroes, so maybe they do put it in the off lane just for that reason, as the 4. So
AA ban. You never want to see that. That means 2 things: Huskar or Alchemist.
Yeah, any of the annoying. Whenever you see an AA ban and you're, the opposing team, you're freaking out a little
Yep,
bit.
and you only
So
got one ban left. That's not what you want to see there. So
yeah, Dark
we'll
Horse banned Faceless Void. I think there is some obvious synergy with Faceless Void and Lich. And one thing about the Winter Wyvern ult and the Faceless Void ult is as long as they don't stack, right? If they don't stack their ults, then they're pretty good at either counter initiating or initiating. So
absolutely.
I also am curious. I mean, Icarus it has been banning Rue heroes. Ancient Apparition is not played by any of Dark Horse. Rue has played it as a mid, but more just like testing it. So um, that has to be a setup, I would assume.
I would
Or maybe
assume the
it's
same
just
thing.
maybe it's just to play mind games. It might be just to play mind games. I think Holocene, Holocene's been, probably one of the most experienced Dota players on the Utah scene. He definitely understands drafting very well, and he knows that Rue's kind of thinking about everything that he does. So I think that maybe he's just trying to play some mind games with Rue.
Also, as a note, AA does hard counter the save from Winter Wyvern. A quick ice blast to whatever cold embraced hero there is, and they're going down.
That's a good point as well. Teammaker is really thinking about this pick here. 12 seconds of reserve time left, and they come out with the
Oh,
Luna.
Luna, interesting.
So one good thing about the Luna is obviously these glaives can hit the skeletons and things like that. But I also think it's more beneficial that they're not hitting other heroes, right?
Yeah,
So, with a lot of creeps coming out, Tombstone Zombies, Wraith Kings, got the skeletons coming out. I don't think these glaives are going to be nearly as effective. Um,
yeah, that's a really good point.
and I also think it's curious that they picked the Luna with so much time left, or they used so much time to pick the Luna. I wonder what they're thinking here. And of course, the Dark Horse Spirit Breaker. I don't know teams are banning the Spirit Breaker, and I think they need to.
I agree. This
This
Spirit Breaker
is,
is undefeated, and this
I
is
mean, this
their
is they're just
fourth
letting
game.
Dark Horse play their bread and butter. They literally
Yeah,
Wraith King, Undying, Spirit Breaker. This is their bread and butter.
absolutely.
This is their. This has been a very successful tournament for all three of these heroes for Dark Horse. They obviously haven't lost with any of them.
And they're
So
prioritizing these picks as well. I think
that's the other thing. Yeah.
they're I mean they're taking first pick and they're just getting these heroes as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So I think
1 second left on the reserve time for Icarus, and
wow,
they pick the PL. I do think this is a wonderful pick.
PL interesting.
Why? Now, I love the PL pick, but what are they going to do with the Luna and PL?
Can they play a mid Luna? Is that a possibility? I
I've
know that
seen a
Luna
4
4 is a
Luna,
thing, but yeah,
but they have a Winter Wyvern and a Lich already.
right. It just feels like there's no room for the Luna now.
And I honestly actually like this Luna better as a 4 than a core anyway. I don't love the Luna as a core in this game. Um, so maybe it will. I don't know. Winter Wyvern could be mid. I know that's. You know what? This might be a good Winter Wyvern mid game. Of course, there's a Leshrac pick.
Oh,
Huh.
that no longer makes it that.
Well, this is a Roosh specialty, the Leshrac. Love Leshrac against the Phantom Lancer. Love Leshrac against the Winter Wyvern.
The cold embrace
Um,
does not feel good here.
yeah, I just think that this is an excellent game for Leshrac.
The final
They
ban is the
banned the
Underlord.
Underlord. They don't like the Underlord that they've been seeing against Dark Horse. Underlord is very good against PL because
Very
that
good.
root prevents PL from doppelganger from using that doppelganger.
And also just the fire wave or the firestorm or whatever the ability is called is just very, very good against these illusion based heroes. It does AoE damage, it's percentage based, it does a lot of damage
Correct.
to these heroes.
You're right.
And also it's actually very good against Winter Wyvern's Cold Embrace as well. So there's just so much to think about here.
Yeah.
And also, I think that
So
damage reduction just neutralizes the Luna and the PL. So I think that was a great ban from Team
right.
Icarus.
I like the ban. So Dark Horse obviously thinks that this is a mid PL or a mid Luna because they just banned a Tide Hunter.
Interesting.
Um, I don't know if that's the case though. We'll see what Dark Horse picks up as their 5th hero.
I wouldn't love to play any of these heroes as an offlaner against a Wraith King Undying. I just feel like it would feel
I agree
so
with that.
bad. Oh, last pick Brood. The
What an
ninth pick
incredible
Brood.
Brood game.
Wow. They have nothing to deal with it.
They
Nothing.
really have the only wave clear that's even remotely a wave clear is the Lich Frostblast, which doesn't do enough to kill the
No.
spiders,
Right.
and the Winter Wyvern W, which
Splinter
also doesn't do
Blast.
enough.
Right.
Splinter Blast, yeah.
Okay, they pick up a Timbersaw. This is the oh my gosh, we have seen so many Timbersaws against this Dark Horse team.
Yeah, and
They
so
they
many and
have
they've all failed.
right. They have their lineup. I'm assuming that this is the offlane Timbersaw.
And Dark Horse has never banned Timbersaw. Even though they pick
No.
strength heroes right out of the bat, they've never banned it. It's
Three
almost like
strength
they're
heroes. Yeah.
baiting teams into picking
They do
this hero.
not fear this hero. That is for sure. This is very interesting.
Well, I think Dark Horse got everything they wanted out of the draft, to be honest, and I'm curious to see how Team Icarus will put this draft together.
I think that they need to
Uh,
be very careful about their lanes to make sure they
well,
don't get
look
run
how
over.
delayed they are in selecting positions too. Like they haven't even selected positions yet.
On mine it says they have.
Oh, okay. It just must be another
Yeah.
replay book. So what is everyone playing? Maybe
So
that will help
Loveless
us
is
put it together.
Timbersaw, Holocene is
Okay,
Phantom
so that's
Lancer.
the offlaner. So Holocine's been playing carry, which is
Okay.
not his normal position, but he's playing carry. So the PL, so that those are normal. Where's the
Okay.
Luna playing?
That's Happy. Happy's playing him.
So Happy's been their mid.
So maybe a mid Luna. And then Temop is playing Winter Wyvern. And Bernie is Lich. Isn't Bernie their offlaner?
Bernie is their offlaner.
I don't think
That's
it's an
very
offlane
curious.
Lich. I've never seen that in my life. This will be interesting to see how they lane this. Yeah.
There's a Loveless previous match, 12-2 and 12 on the Bounty Hunter. I'm surprised I haven't picked a Bounty Hunter yet this tournament.
Yeah, very interesting.
Easy is a very good Bounty Hunter player. So on side of Dark Horse, we have Ferocious Bud as the 3 on the Broodmother. King Bob on his undefeated Spirit Breaker. I guess they're all undefeated at this point, but
yeah, that's what happens when you go 5-0.
Rue on the Lestrak mid. Stuff on his Wraith King carry, and Dr. Maxito on his famed or becoming famous 5 Undying. So they're putting Loveless, they're putting Easy mid.
On the Timbersaw.
Mop and Luna are going bottom. Is this an off-lane Luna? That sounds terrible to me.
That does sound terrible.
I just think they got.
Why wouldn't they lane Timbersaw bottom against 2 strength heroes?
Because who are they going to put mid? I guess.
I just feel like either Luna or Winter Wyvern would do better.
Winter Wyvern, but then you have a Timbersaw Luna lane. That just feels bad.
Yeah.
I honestly think that just Team Icarus kind of got put into a position in the draft that they didn't want to be.
I think you're right. This is.
I mean, they do have a very standard mid or very standard top lane, and Timbersaw can obviously do well mid. Timbersaw has very high right click damage.
I do feel like they have answers for this PL though. Like the Leshrac can just melt through the illusions, so they're not even worried about going against the Leshrac here.
Interesting. So the one advantage with the Timbersaw against a range hero, the reason why this is playable is Timbersaw obviously gets to the advantage of the Quelling Blade, which increases the damage by 18.
Okay.
So he'll be able to basically hit 20 damage more than Leshrac, essentially. In addition to that, Leshrac... Here, let's see here. I love how Rue plays this. He gets two both the ranged creep and the other creep low, and he gets 2 last hits off his first split earth, also harassing Loveless.
Now this is an interesting build. Loveless went Buckler against Leshrac here.
Yeah, so in the mid lane, you may think, oh, Leshrac's a magic hero, but there's a ton of right-click damage in Harass, right? That's what I was just about to say. Timbersaw, the reason why he can play against range heroes mid is because the Harass is very difficult for most melee heroes to sustain against. This Timbersaw, however, obviously has reactive armor, plus the Buckler. That right-click is not going to be doing a ton of damage against him. So other lanes right now have been pretty standard, not too much going out. Bottom lane is getting the most action. Dr. Maxito getting 20 strength decays.
Wow.
He does an excellent job at just zoning these heroes out and letting stuff just free farm. I mean, stuff has already got 4 denies
Wow.
and 6 last hits.
It
That's
looks
excellent.
like Dark Horse is taking an early lead in that CS with all 3 cores at the top.
Brew has 10 last hits already. That's very impressive against this
I-
melee level. This isn't an immortal player. This is not just a scrub that Rue's playing against.
Yeah, I really love this approach. Dr. Maxito is just running at them, and so Stuff is just getting the freest lane of his life. You'd have to be a moron not to be able to hit these.
Well, and these two heroes, the Luna trying to throw out the Lucent Beam as much as possible, and Mop trying to throw out the Arctic Burn, but Maxito's just taking this and just letting Stuff just farm.
I'd love to see a wand picked up here from Dr. Maxito. I think he'd get a lot of use out of it.
He's having some more mangoes and a clarity come out. He's obviously prioritizing that. He doesn't have a ton of gold right now either to get the wand.
Sure.
Top lane,
And it's
King
not
Bob
like
is
this
kinda-
lane could have been predicted either.
Right, exactly. Top lane's been an even lane. Broodmother's actually getting the best part out of the Phantom Lancer, but PL doing okay with this. Pretty even lane. Spirit Breaker charging on Holocene. Holocene being slightly caught out of position when the Lich is not there.
Ooh, a nice bash.
He's going to take a ton of damage. Is he going to go down? Oh, first blood on Ferocious
wow.
Flood.
Oh my gosh. A nice
That's
play.
329 gold on. That's a Soul Ring. When Broodmother gets the Soul Ring, she can just take off at this point. Get all the range creep last hits, which is huge in lane. And you do not want Ferocious Bud to get off on a good start on his Broodmother, that's for sure. In the mid lane, Timbersaw is catching back up. So it looks like Loveless is going to be doing fine in the mid lane.
He's going to take some tower shots here.
For most heroes, you would be a little worried about it. But honestly, with the reactive armor stacks, he did go 2 points. Oh, he went 2 points in the reactive armor, so he should be able to tank all this harass. However, King Bob is coming mid just to kind of hit him a couple times. I don't think this is kind of significant that I don't think Broodmother needs him top, and these supports on Dark Horse have been rotating a lot. So if you're Team Icarus, are you okay with how the lanes are going? They're only down. I mean, they're down by less than 1K right now.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I think that as Dark Horse, you're probably fine with the way that lanes are going right now.
Yeah, I think absolutely.
Less than a 1K lead.
It looks like they do end up taking Dr. Maxito down. He was finishing up a pull there, and Happy and Temop end up taking him down. Yeah, I think the lanes are going swimmingly. I think, especially because I think that the drafts here. Oh, if Ferocious Spud's getting low, but he does nice to be, but barely gets the vision to take him out.
And yeah, and Bernie got his last right click on him, and that's at the 5 minutes too, which will allow Bernie to get one of the runes, and Happy's going to get the other.
It looks like
this is going to bring Icarus into the lead, actually.
Yeah.
In the mid lane, Rue getting extremely low. Loveless putting some heavy harassment on this Rue. I'm surprised that Rue's staying in this lane. Seems very dangerous. And he's now running back. I guess he was just waiting for the Spirit Breaker to come mid, soak this experience, right, and then he'll be returning. So this will be great for Loveless. Get this farm, get caught up.
Now, are you starting to worry if you're Team Icarus that your offlane has next to nothing in terms of CS?
So is there offlane?
I believe it's Tamop
on
the Winter Wyvern.
The Winter Wyvern?
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, obviously, like
Timbersaw goes down mid. That's a huge kill.
Oh wow, how did that happen?
So they just waited. So Timbersaw was just holding mid. Timbersaw kind of has this aura of superiority, like he can't be brought down.
Okay.
right? They had Spirit Breaker soaking mid. They TP Rue behind the trees, so Timbersaw's not expecting it, and then they have 2 stuns all of a sudden, right? With the
Gotcha.
magic damage, the Strack's already level 6, more than enough
Oh,
magic
okay.
damage,
Okay.
and they kill the and
We have a
rotating
nice.
bottom. Ferocious Bud is also going a Holocene top, but it doesn't. Looks like that's gonna not prevail.
It looks
Happy
like
goes
Happy
down.
will go down very quickly.
So stuff I was doesn't have a stun queued up. What do you think about this build that he's going?
This is I've seen this on a few carries. This is just a all-out farming build. This says I don't care about killing heroes. I just want to kill creeps. So I usually what I've seen from this build is the first point
Mid
is
lane.
oh,
It looks like Rue is kind of wrapping around a little bit.
so he's just farming some jungle camps.
It looks like okay. Timbersaw's coming back in. I wonder if the no. Timbersaw's playing very cautiously now, giving to King Bob some time to get some last hits, soak up some last hits. Rue's being very active on the map.
You're right. Rue
He's
throws
bottom
down the
lane
mango
again.
tree
Here
and
he
he's
goes on
rotating onto
Happy.
Happy. Oh, he's
What
got.
a
Oh, he
stun.
landed the stun and he's able to take the kill. That was beautiful.
And top, we got Ferocious Spud killing the Lich. This is such a problem when you're a 5 support against a Broodmother. You just can't show
You
up
can't
in the
even go
lane after
there.
level 6. Usually at like level 5, actually, you're just kind of sunk.
So is this
Even
is this
Holocene's in trouble.
right?
Ferocious Spud causes the Doppelganger to go out.
PL can't really deal with the broodlings, so this is a little bit scary for him.
Lich has to be very cautious when Frost Shield is down. Timbersaw going down mid again.
Oh, a big dive. He was so deep.
He was very deep. This is what Timbersaws usually can do. And top lane, of course, we just talked about is
Oh, geez.
Bernie goes down again.
Nice
You
play
just
from
can't
Ferocious
TP
Spud.
top against a Broodmother as a 5. It's just too dangerous. So what I was going to say, Timbersaws can usually cut the tower to push that tier 1 tower. The issue with this is that Lestrak just does so much magic damage that Timbersaw can be brought down at this stage, which normally he can't.
And I think
Lestrak, 4 points in Diabolic Edict.
oh, and he's running
Happy's
after
just
Happy.
dead.
Happy's dead again.
Happy trying to defend the mid tower and he just dies.
Oh man, this feels so bad. They can't go to 2 of the lanes.
Yeah, they just die in 2 lanes. And currently bottom lane is just a farm fest for Wraith King.
Right, he's just throwing his skellies down to push out the lane, and then he's farming the jungle.
So the only lane that's really open right now is their Winter Wyvern 3. This feels terrible.
Okay, now they do rotate Loveless top. This
Yes,
is a much more favorable matchup. Obviously, the skeletons give him
But
plenty
look,
of
Bernie
stacks.
goes mid and he just dies.
Oh no!
King Bob knows exactly where his kill potential is this game. He is camping the mid lane and just destroying any hero that comes. All Rue needs is just that one stun from King Bob, and then he gets the setup that they just died. Nobody can go to this mid lane.
This is just feeling so bad for Team Icarus. So what do you do here? How do you get back on the map?
It's all dependent on this PL. I think what you have to do, as soon as Timbersaw finishes his first item, which is going to be a hood, after he gets a hood, then they just fight as 4. They just constantly fight, and let the PL farm.
Speaking of fighting, Rue TP's in, and he was going for Loveless. He's being charged right now, so they have plenty of vision. Ferocious Spud is moving his spiders in. Moving his spiders out, actually keeping him away.
The Timber Chain.
That's a nice lot. That's plenty of damage. Plenty of damage to take him out.
Rue is all over the map, and so is King Bob. They're just literally not giving Team Icarus an inch right now. I think they know they're ahead, and they're just planning.
Looks like they are going on Dr. Maxito. They might take him down here. Just, oh, a nice heal that might keep him alive. Oh, a 2-man decay. They end up committing the ult in order to kill him. This feels so bad. You need that to set up a fight.
I mean, ultimately, it only gives 180 gold.
Oh, and no levels. I mean, that was, next to no experience. In fact, it looks like from that exchange, oh, no, okay. They did get 282. Let's see, 94 experience for each one of them. So that feels so bad. So bad.
Rue, if he disassembles his arcane boots, he only has to.
Oh, and the first stun comes out from Stuff, and they're able to get a King Bob rotation. Dr. Maxito stole a lot, and he ends up giving it to Stuff.
King Bob is everywhere on the map.
Dude, King
And
Bob.
Rue just got a kill on Bernie.
Oh my gosh. Kills
We can't
everywhere.
move the cameras fast enough to get all these. There's 15
This is
kills
incredible.
in 11 minutes. This is not some scrub team. This is Team Icarus we're talking about. Dark Horse has a 6K gold lead at 11 minutes. This is insane. There's no way anybody could have expected this.
I think this is incredible that both Rue and King Bob have been a part of 8 kills each out of 12.
Yeah, they're just all over the place. Both of
Right.
them. Look, they're going again.
Oh, and here they go on to Happy on the Luna. And some big damage from the tombstone is dropped. I think they'll be able to take this down, and Rue does.
They're just not they're literally controlling all lanes right now. How often in Dota do you see it where a team can control all lanes? It's very, very rare. The fact that they have the Broodmother can take care of herself up top. She has an Orchid now. This is some scary stuff.
I think the
If you thought you
Broodmother.
were safe before, nobody, not even the PL, can come up top. Not even the Timbersaw can come up top anymore.
Absolutely. I think the Broodmother and the Spirit Breaker have been key in keeping control of these two.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going on to Holocene mid, and it looks like he will get out. And actually, Rue's in a little bit of danger.
Oh, will they be able to get the Lestrak?
Oh, a nice stun on to Loveless to keep the damage from going out. A
Happy
nice
commits
stun to
Eclipse.
stop that. Oh no! Oh, they committed Eclipse.
They
They
do
will
kill.
take down Rue. That's a big kill, 670 gold, and then they take down King Bob as well.
Heavily needed from Team Icarus. They strike back.
And that was a 2,000 gold experience gain there versus the 94 from King Bob on their last
That
kill.
was huge. They needed that so bad. They finally got some big burst damage from Eclipse, level 6 on Happy, and they instantly use it. However, if you're Mop, you got to be careful top. I know Mop can use Arctic Splinter Blast to kill some of the Spiderlings, but Ferocious Spot already has an Orchid. And interestingly enough, Mop doesn't have Cold Embrace yet.
Oh no, he's
Mop's
going to
just
go on
dead.
him. Yep, he gets the Orchid off. He runs his spiders in. He's going to have to use another web to get there, but he does
get the
not
Arctic
have the
Burn
charge.
off.
Oh no, he does.
Get the
He
Arctic
does.
Burn off, which saves him before the Orchid comes out. So well played on Mop, just staying alive as much as possible. On the other hand, though, it's not like it's just a Broodmother problem. They have 3 heroes in the 6K net worth range. Lestrak is leading the top, but honestly, Wraith King isn't that far behind. Almost has his Relic.
Oh my gosh. You have to be so nervous at this point. Your tier 2s are being pushed in 2 different lanes. And they are going to make a move onto Ferocious Bud, but nobody really wants to commit. They have 3 heroes here, and it looks like Happy's going to go down to him. And sure, his spider's going to attack him for a little bit, but I don't know if they can do anything
King
here.
Bob's right there to
And
protect
yep,
him.
King Bob, a nice defensive charge in. And it looks like he will go down. Well, Tombstone is dropped. We'll see. Okay, it looks like he will go down here. And Dr. Maxito may have sacrificed his life as well.
He does TP
Oh,
out.
he
Is there
does,
any
that's
stun?
a nice TP.
There's no
I don't
stun.
think they have it. No. Let's see. Bernie did have a Sinister Gaze skill, but he just wasn't in position for it.
Yeah, and in the meantime,
And
they're
again,
pushing bottom and mid tier 2.
this is the thing, is like they're pushing 2 lanes constantly. When they move top to push the Brood off, they're now pushing mid and bottom.
Dark Horse is just 3 steps ahead of Team Icarus right now. And here comes Mop. He better not go up that hill. And Rue pings out the word immediately. He doesn't know where it is, but he does see that Mop instantly saw him.
Gets the lightning off.
Bernie,
and
however,
he's
might be
being
in trouble
charged.
here. They decided to call it off smartly. There's 3
Yes.
heroes I don't think they can get out. Rue already has a Bloodstone.
a
I would
nice
say Rue
Bloodstone
was dead,
pop.
but he has Bloodstone. I don't know. He might still be. Oh my gosh! Another
Oh,
stun.
another beautiful stun.
What a
If he hadn't
save.
gotten that off, and then he healed from Dr. Maxito, and then the lightning comes in, it slows him down, and Stuff takes the last hit. Of course, the carry's always there
I
for
don't know how Rue
the
constantly
gold.
does this. He's stunning Timber Chain every time.
Rue is a very experienced Timbersaw player, so I think he knows exactly when to strike.
Beautiful Bodos on King's Bob. That was basically a half a second long Winter's Curse on him. Did absolutely nothing. It just seems like Dark Horse's draft is just running circles around Team Icarus right now.
Absolutely. Now, Halstein's PL almost has his Diffusal. At that point, they can take down the Wraith King without worrying about that second life, at least until level 20, but they still have a while before the level 20.
Usually, but the issue is, guess what?
Oh no,
He
it looks
only-
like
well-
Stuff is out of position. They're going to take him down. Okay, that was his first life.
But here comes King Bob.
Oh, a
helping him out,
beautiful charge.
handling the Eclipse.
He's going to be able to get him out here. Oh, but Stuff goes back in.
Great
He
heal
gets
on Dr.
pulled in, a
Magneto,
nice
tombstone
heal,
pop.
a big
They
tombstone,
do
but they
kill
will end
spot,
up
that's
taking down
huge, and kill
Wraith
the
King.
tombstone.
That's a big kill. Oh, but Holstein's going
PL's
down.
dead. Are
Rue
they gonna
will
kill
take him
Rue as
out.
well? They kill Rue.
Oh, a nice
Four
split.
heroes
Brood is
dead.
here. Will he be able to take any revenge? Doesn't look like he's just going to go back. But he took the tier 2 while that was happening.
Still, that was a great fight by Team Icarus. That's exactly what they needed. Just like you said, as soon as they got the Diffusal Blade, they fought, and they fought hard.
It was funny, though. They didn't
4
even need
kills.
it. The Wraith King was dead on his first life prior to the Diffusal, or PL even being able to hit him. But
well, they didn't need the mana burn, but the other thing about the Diffusal, it's a first huge damage item for the PL.
Sure.
PL doesn't do any damage before that item. So they definitely needed it for that reason, and the slow. They slowed the Strack, actually, and got the kill on the Strack as well.
Absolutely.
So they desperately needed that fight. Great fight by Team Icarus, pulling them, at least letting them know that they can still fight.
Yes. I think more than anything, that helps with the morale. It was about a 1,500 gold difference, but the morale difference is huge in those situations. So
definitely. Ferocious Spud is level 13 right now.
Yeah, he is very close to being the biggest one on the map. In fact, he is now the biggest one on the map.
Happy they just get a tier 2 tower after this kill
on
Happy. They got Arcane Hearse, but who are they going to use it on?
Stuff needs to be careful. He's still got 18 seconds left before his reincarnation comes down, and it looks like his team is protecting him really well. Loveless is going down, but he gets his essence ring off. So ends up taking down
Team Icarus 1 for 1.
Yeah.
However, Ferocious Spud taking the mid tier 2. That's the thing. It seems
Brood
like every single trade
pressure
that seems halfway decent for Team Icarus,
they're losing objectives.
They're losing towers.
Yeah, they lost a bottom one right before that fight, and then the mid during that.
The problem with losing towers is that PL needs space to farm, and with every tower that's lost, he's losing more and more space.
Are they going into Roche? I think they're going into Roche.
Instant transition into Roche.
This is such
tier
a quick
two towers
Roche
are gone.
too.
What a wonderful movement. They just take out the tier 2 towers, they instantly transition into Roche. Broodmother's here. This is wonderful.
They do have vision here, the Icarus. I wonder if they just use the time to farm or if they challenge this. It's going down very quickly.
They don't have the PL though. Do they just walk in? It's too late.
It is too late, and it looks like Happy has a veil. He used it. He wanted to use his ult, but he looks like he may be going down. He gets stunned, and the Orchid Silence is still on him.
Double stun by King Bob.
Oh, a big charge in, and Loveless is now in danger, but he gets to the high ground, but Stuff is there. Almost cuts down Ferocious Spud. Oh, and the Tombstone is dropped to slow them all down. Loveless ends up taking out the Wraith King's first life. And Loveless is going down for sure here. And he gets critted down. And then the Rinner Wyvern. That was a devastating fight. They were just not in position soon enough. And the PL didn't want to fight.
The PL didn't want to fight. I think they thought with all their ults they might be able to prevent it. But right now, Dark Horse is just way too farm.
Well, I think the key was that Luna wanted to pop Eclipse. But he got Orchided by the Broodmother.
I just don't think Eclipse does anything. With all the spiders in there and all the heroes, it just doesn't do a ton.
It's a good point. If he had gotten lucky with the strikes, he did pop Veil on him, so it would have done a lot of magic damage to those that it did hit. But I think you're right. There is just too many units there. Fortify's popped, so Dark Horse goes ahead and retreats there.
That's the biggest issue with this, is both their big nuke damage is their Chain Frost on the Lich and the Eclipse on the Luna. You don't necessarily think of them as single target burst, but when you have a bunch of spiderlings there, it feels bad to use either of those spells.
Sure, and even without the spiderlings, the Wraith King can just summon his skeletons if he has any in his pocket. I don't know where he keeps those.
Right.
Oh, and Bernie's gonna go down real quick to Ferocious Spud. Not even a shot. Not even a shot.
Yeah.
This Broodmother is huge.
And Broodmother has Vampire Fangs too. Such a good item on the Brood. Just so much life still when she pops Insatiable Hunger.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like they're grouping up mid, and there's a charge in from King Bob.
Orchid
he gets
on
the stun.
Loveless doesn't have anything to break this.
Oh, and a big drain from that. There is the Tombstone down to slow him, and the bash will secure him.
Bob.
It was a beautiful bash.
Beautiful bash. What was Loveless doing there? I think he's just trying to
Not
create
sure.
space for PL, but
Yeah.
it just
I
was
think you
out of
feel a lot
position.
tankier as a Timber Saw, but he did
I
not
mean, he
look that
does
way.
have pipe, but wow, this is rough. Dark Horse is already pushing top. Or pushing mid, excuse me. They do use the ice armor.
And it is
Frost
slowing
shield,
down quite a bit. But
but they
Wraith King
still
just
have the
runs in, and
catapult.
he has a DD! He's ready to hit this! And look at Undying just keeping him alive there. I think he's ready to use his reincarnation to get this tower. And they charge in onto
they're
the
taking
Lich.
objectives
But
right now.
yeah,
They're ready to go.
they are not even concerned. And he will use his reincarnation.
Eclipse goes out.
They may get a few
Doesn't
kills
do
here.
a ton of damage. Remember, Rue has the Aegis.
Oh, that's right, he
Ferocious
does.
Bud goes in and instantly kills the Lich. Loveless goes on the back lines, is trying to
Is Rue in
kill
danger
King
here?
Bob, but King Bob just zones him out. It does look like Rue's going down with the Winter's Curse. Yes, he does. Great Winter's Curse.
And there's
And they
some
kill the
big
Wraith King
damage.
as well.
Wow.
Did Dark Horse overextend?
And Brood will TP out. It was a smart TP out. Now, they get the tier 3 there, but do you think that's worth it?
They lose 2 buybacks. They lose Lich and they lose
Was it
Luna's
Luna?
buyback. At that point, though, those 2 heroes, you don't need them to have a ton of gold.
Sure.
And then the 3 cores did get some big experience, so I do definitely think that's worth it for Icarus.
Okay.
And they save their racks. I mean, any hold at this point is going to be worth it.
Sure.
And they might be able to transition this into their first tier 1, or to taking a tier 1 tower, the second tier 1 of the game, which also provides an influx of gold.
Oh,
However,
a nice Orchid from Broodmother, but a big stun from, or not a stun, but the Sinister Gaze from Lich to save him.
I love how Brood is using these trees to her advantage.
He is and then the big heal from his ultimate, and it ends up turning it around because it stalls it enough.
From Dr. Maxito keeps him around, and this turns into
oh my
great
gosh!
play by Ferocious Spud.
Yeah,
just
it stalls him enough.
Using the trees, and they just lose 3 heroes.
Beautiful,
They don't even
beautiful
get
play.
the tier 1
Set
mid.
up.
It literally has 13
And they're
HP.
chasing after this Lich. That's a dieback from both Bernie and from Happy. They are going to be able to take a Rax here for sure.
The other issue right now is that PL doesn't have buyback. PL doesn't have the gold for it. Winter Wyvern doesn't have the gold for it. There's no buybacks.
So it's all up to Loveless to prevent them from pushing. Now, do you think they go for more than one? Yeah, it looks like they're headed.
I mean, if they didn't buy back, I think Dark Horse is thinking we force the buybacks. If not, we just take this. They don't have Glyph either. They take these down so quick with Diabolic.
This is very,
Edict and
very
with all the
scary,
right click.
yes.
Just like that, 2 lanes down.
Wow.
20k advantage, 24 minutes in.
So how does Icarus get back in this?
They have to have a beautiful setup from the Winter Wyvern ult onto at least 3 heroes. It has to be followed up by the Timber Saw's massive burst damage and the Luna's and Lich's massive burst damage, with PL trying to slow them and staying on the fights. But it's really has to be set up by the Winter Wyvern. Winter Wyvern is close to an Orchid. However, at that point, like, who's she going to Orchid? It has Leshrac, but no, Leshrac has BKB too. All 3 cores have BKBs.
They are ready
for this. It just seems like a useless item.
Yeah, and even the Diffusal doesn't feel that good anymore because Wraith King can just pop his BKB.
Spud going on the back lines.
Oh, let's see here.
He's just scaring them back.
They are just
letting
retreating.
Hit the
that tower.
I just love the sustain from Dr. Maxito. Every time stuff goes up there and they harass him with his spells, Dr. Maxito just heals him up with a good Soul Rip. I also love how Dr. Maxito, at this stage in the game, still has 2 Clarity Potions. He knows his role. He's literally back there just to sustain and provide vision with the Tombstone.
And this is a massive net worth
Ferocious Spud
lead.
does pop BKB.
Well, he was afraid of the satyrs, I guess.
Yeah. The satyrs got to him.
Yeah. Well, satyrs are scary sometimes. Satyr Tormentor, you know. I'd pop my BKB if I ever ran into one of those.
It's tormenting.
Yeah.
So neutral items, tier 3 items, Craggy Coat coming out from stuff. Honestly, did you just put that on Spirit Breaker
I think
and
so.
make him unkillable?
Although it does slow
Dr.
it,
Maxito also good.
it does slow attack speed, and you do want those bashes. So maybe it's better on the
The thing is
Undying.
though is that King Bob's Spirit Breaker is so good at just running into several heroes
Looks
from
like we
his
do have a
charge.
fight going on bottom. Maybe they're
They
just gonna
pop the
call
Orchid on
back.
Rue, but Rue just instantly BKBs. What are you? It's just a useless item at
Loveless
this
is
point.
getting really low, and Winter's Curse. Oh, that feels
Winter's
so
Curse
bad.
committed. That's 80
There's
seconds without Winter's Curse.
and little to no damage onto Rue with that. Oh, and they are charging in. They want more. Ferocious Spud is in position for more.
Ferocious Spud did an excellent job zoning out the other heroes so they couldn't get on Rue after Winter's Curse was committed. This is a clinic. This is a clinic right now from Dark Horse. Showing the Immortals how to play.
26 minutes in to be 22k
Holocene does
up.
have a Manta. As soon as he gets his heart, he's going to be tanky enough to actually do something in fights. But they have to at least hold for another 5 minutes, and that's really nice.
I love the way the Brood's coming in here, so that they like can't focus just behind that. It's just splitting up that area so much.
Cape and Soul Rip from Dr. Maxito doing so much work. And he still is having these clarities. I just can't say enough. I love how he still has these clarities.
And Loveless is
Timbersaw
wanting to be a little aggressive, but he gets Orchided, and he's got a Spirit Vessel on him. He is at risk of going down here, and there's the magic that it's going to take him down.
He instantly has to buy back. Stuff just pops BKB, hits the tower, and Glimmer Cape gets him out.
That's beautiful. I love it.
And another Soul Rip. Dr. Maxito going down, but he's done an excellent job.
He kept Wraithking alive, so they didn't even have to use
the number
Reincarnation.
advantage. They're trying to get anybody.
So they are chasing out.
Rue does have BKB, returns it. First spot on the back lines, killing Lich.
Lich is gone, but it looks like that was a really nice Winter's Curse. Is he going to live? Oh, he still had BKB, so it was unable to affect him, so he was able to get the Bloodstone off. Luna ult is popped. That's a lot of damage going on to him, and Leshrac does go down. It looks like Happy is in danger, and yes, he will go down.
Ferocious Spud also in danger in the back lines. Dies as well. That's
They do have a Spirit Vessel onto Loveless. Will he be able to go down? No, it looks like they're calling retreat.
Wow. Ultimately, though, the lanes are just completely pushed, so Icarus cannot take any objectives on this. They did get some good kills, though.
Yeah, and I think that's an important fight
experience.
to win. Wow. And almost a
They
2k
did have to use
gold
the buyback
change.
on the Timbersaw, however.
So they won't have that for upcoming fights.
And unfortunately, PL only got about 600 gold in that fight. Winter Wyvern was the big victor, had 1,300. But honestly, what are you going to do with Winter Wyvern getting farm? It was just unfortunate for them because both Winter Wyvern and PL were hitting the Broodmother. I think Winter Wyvern could have let the PL probably just get that kill, but it's just too risky at the same time. King Bob is charging into Holocene, cancels TP!
Oh, wow.
Holocene doesn't see him. King Bob doesn't have any backup, but that is still annoying.
Just a nice cheeky play from King Bob there.
Exactly. Other tier 3 items are coming out. We have Orb of Destruction from the found by the PL, and then Stuff gets the Mindbreaker, and Roche is up, and they instantly transition into the Roche Pit. They're doing such a good job at keeping these Roche timers.
Now Team Icarus did scan it, so they are aware that this is happening, but I don't even think they are going to challenge it. Well, actually, Timbersaw is headed over. He's going to be too late again.
Though.
This is what happened on the last Roche fight. They came, but
they
were out of.
I know that King Bob keeps these roast timers for Team Dark Horse. Does an excellent job with that. Great Winter's Curse onto the Leshrac. With the Orchid.
Leshrac has the Aegis though, so even if they kill him here,
they kill the Leshrac. But Ferocious Spud immediately goes on the backlines trying to kill Mop. Stuff on the other hand killing the Lich. The support's going down. And PL gets blown up by the
Oh my
Leshrac.
gosh.
Wow,
what a devastating fight. I think that's game.
This is absolutely game over.
What
they
a
just
clinic.
Too much damage. There's too much farm on Dark Horse. They came to play today.
They absolutely did. They had their number.
And there's
Wow.
the GG. Halston calls it GG.
Wow.
Undefeated. Dark Horse
Wow.
in
That's
the group
100% group
stage.
stage. Wow, this team looks unstoppable. Oh, man,
That
it'll
is
be.
so impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Regular season champions, Dark Horse, 6-0. Congratulations.
Well done.
I mean, coming into this tournament, I would have never thought that Dark Horse would have performed as well they did. I mean, pulling off one upset maybe, but the 3 upsets in this tournament, in iconically Team Icarus falling against Dark Horse, and this wasn't just a
Absolutely.
fall. This was a stomp. This was a complete stomp. Like, this didn't look really any different than when Dark Horse was playing some of the other lesser
Sure.
teams.
Absolutely.
Absolutely incredible.
A little bit better than just the previous game, but
Yes,
but
definitely.
yes, some of the other teams definitely were at the same level almost. That was what an incredible game. Now, what would you attribute this I guess I don't want to be too harsh, but this devastation to? Do you think it was a drafting error?
100%. It just didn't seem like Team Icarus didn't know what their plan was going into it. I think they got drafted into a corner when Dark Horse pulled out the Brood Mother. They were not sure how to deal with it. They picked a Timbersaw, which didn't really work out. Timbersaw went 2-8. He did do a good amount of damage, but honestly, they just didn't have any. None of their heroes really performed that well, except for the Winter Wyvern, honestly. But Winter Wyvern as a core just felt bad. So ultimately I think it was just a drafting issue. They just got drafted into a corner, but more importantly, I don't think it was Team Icarus's error as much as it was Dark Horse's just executing super well. It seemed like, early on with King Bob rotating to every lane, Lestrak being in every lane, and then also Ferocious Bud just dominating that top lane by himself, and then Stuff just farming without any contesting at all. I think, even though the mid lane was won by Dark Horse, the top lane was won by Dark Horse, the lane that was won the biggest was the bottom lane. If you remember, neither
The difference,
Luna
yeah.
or Winter Wyvern had any farm at all coming out of that lane.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just think it was a credible execution. They just went from dominating the laning stage to instantly taking down the towers, taking objectives. As soon as they took down, the tier 2 towers, they went into the Roche Pit. They got the Roche Pit, they got some items, they went high ground, they took a Rax. It's just excellent execution by Dark Horse. They didn't give Team Icarus an inch. And that's what you have to do against this team. As soon as you're ahead, you do not give them an inch, because if you give them an inch, they will take it and run with it.
Absolutely. Just to quickly correct you here, it does look like it was about even between bottom and mid, between the I guess the difference in farm between the mids and the carry and the offlaner of bottom.
Wait, what are
Um,
you saying? Say that differently. You're saying that
it was a
the mid
2,000
lane
gold
won as
difference.
hard as the bottom lane. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yes.
So mid lane from Dark Horse won as hard as bottom lane won is.
Yep. Just after 10
Gotcha.
minutes, it was a 2K net worth lead for each of them. So
Gotcha.
yes, both dominated, but the Lesh punished this Timbersaw, and I think that's definitely due to the rotations from the Spirit Breaker. King Bob did an excellent job rotating, and so they had enough lockdown down to be able to take him out several times, and so he couldn't come back to mid. I think up to about 5 minutes, I think that Timbersaw was doing really well. Yeah, confirm that. But he fell off hard after about 8 minutes when Spirit Breaker felt like he could rotate.
Well, I was going to say when Spirit Breaker started becoming just a nuisance, just an absolute nuisance. Shout out to once again the supports of Dark Horse. I think that they've done an amazing all tournament. The cores as well. I think Ferocious Bud, Stuff, and Rue all played super amazing this game, and honestly, it was just a perfect game from Dark Horse.
Absolutely.
Very beautiful game to watch.
Clean game.
Clean, very clean.
Well, we'll be bringing you guys the semifinals next. We'll see who Dark Horse will be facing and whether or not they'll be able to win. So stay tuned.